Alright, yeah, oh no, I don't have a transition. Alright, so I don't do this as a job, as you might be able to tell. But I have been able to have some pretty interesting jobs over the years. Like my first job ever, I worked as a groundskeeper at a campsite near my house. So with the groundskeepers, it was me, Brian, Jerry, and Roy. Now, I don't know if you've ever worked a job where it's just a small number of guys, but you'll just end up doing the dumbest shit. The job will get done, absolutely, but you will find the absolute dumbest way to get it done. Alright, so for example, one day after Brian and I finished mowing the grass all over the campsite, Jerry pulls up to where we are. He says, "Guys, I found the groundhog that's been digging all the holes around the campsite." We're like, "Okay, great." I think to myself, it's all right, are we gonna call animal control or something? They're like, no, this is our job. I'm like, okay, all right, so we're gonna, set out some traps, we're gonna set some poison, take care of the groundhog, nicely. Jerry's like, no, we're taking care of it right now. So get in the car. We all get in the car. He drives us over, points to our big wood pile. He's like, all right, I found the groundhog. It's in there. And then he explains the plan. Now listen closely. This one's a thinker. So what's going to happen is Brian and I are each going to grab a piece of wood from the wood pile. And then Jerry's going to go up to the wood pile and start shaking it. And he's going to scare out the groundhog. The groundhog's going to run out. And then we're going to take our pieces of wood and we're going to throw it at the groundhog. And that's going to get it. And that's how we're going to take care of it. Foolproof plan. All right. So we get our pieces of wood. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is absolutely not what I signed up for when I took this job. I've never killed anything before. And so I'm thinking through, I'm like, okay, maybe I should purposely try to miss the groundhog. Because I can't kill a groundhog. Groundhogs are cute. The only groundhog I know is Puxatawny Phil, and he's a weatherman. And I'm like, oh, well, with my aim, it's probably better if I aim at the groundhog, and then I'm definitely going to miss. So I'm going through all this. Meanwhile, Jerry's over at the wood pile just shaking it with all his might. And after a minute or so of this, it stops. And I feel like it should be obvious. If somebody comes up to your house, starts shaking on the door, you're not going to come out and see what's going on. You're going to hide further in your house. And so after that, we decided, okay, this is going nowhere. Jerry goes, oh, I guess what I could do is I could call Roy, because Roy has a handgun. And I don't know why this doesn't play. So, it's a much smarter idea. So we call up Roy, he comes up, he gets on top of the wood pile, moves a few pieces of wood out of the way to get a clear shot, and clearly the three of us, we don't want to miss this, so we get up on the wood pile too, just supervising. So it's all four of us right here, when suddenly one of the managers for the campsite pulls up in front of us. So just to set the scene, we've got our giant wood pile. We've got one guy with a handgun pointed down the wood pile. We've got four other guys just supervising. And she yells out, "Oh, you aren't going to shoot the poor thing, are you?" And at that point, there's only one way to answer that. No. So, no more groundhog. So after that job, I'm like, I can never get another job where I'd have to kill something. So I went and I worked at a candy store, which was, didn't have to kill anything. So number one goal, that was good. Now, working at the candy store, it really is, it's a lot like Willy Wonka. Well, actually, a few small changes. It's like Willy Wonka if the Oompa Loompas were all chain smokers and they had a plan to kill Willy. Now, there is a big difference between the front of the store and the back of the store. Because in the front of the store, you have to still put up an act for the customers so that they come back. But in the back of the store, all hell breaks loose. So, if you walk into the store, you walk in and it's sunshine, lollipops and sprinkles, and you go to the back and it's, man, that bitch better not show up to my wedding. She showed up to the first two and I got a feeling this time it's gonna stick. Yeah, Meemaw says she's not afraid to fight her in the parking lot if she has to. Who can take the sunshine, sprinkle it with dew? Man, when is Carla getting back from rehab? I mean, I know meth ain't good for you, but my God, could that woman pack chocolates quickly? Hold up. Oh, God damn it, I'm getting a call. Smiley's Confectionery, how may I help you? Oh, we'd be happy to do that for you. All right, you have a blessed day. 7 fucking boxes of chocolate. Can you believe that? Oh, they better not expect to get it before January. That's what I'm saying. Man, these customers are so entitled these days. All right. So, all in all, that was a good job. Didn't have to kill anything. But I don't work there anymore. Yeah. Right now, I work at a nearby college teaching physics, and it's a great job. So blessed that I can... Okay, none of my students are here. I can do the rest of the bit. All right, so, teaching is great, but it can also be rough at times. And it's not rough for the reasons I thought it was going to be rough. I thought it'd be rough, trying to, teach somebody a difficult concept or, dealing with disruptions. Now, the worst part of teaching is when you really want to make a comment to your students, but you know it would get you fired. For example, a few weeks ago, group of guys that come into the class, and they're just shooting the shit between each other. They're like, okay, would you rather be with a vanilla 10 or with a freaky 7? Would you rather have your girlfriend be vanilla but really hot, or would you rather her be freaky but a little bit in the face? So they're going back and forth, making good points. I can't say anything, but they're making some good points until Trevor finally says, I would date the vanilla 10 and I'd make her freaky. Now I'm like, it took everything in me not to jump out. I'm like, Trevor, what are you thinking? You're gonna make her freaky? No, freakiness comes from childhood trauma. What are you gonna give you're gonna give a 20-year-old daddy issues? No, Trevor, what do they teach you in sex ed? But I didn't say that because I want to keep my job. So now I get to say it here. All right, thank you everybody. You've been great.